then so without further ado then, let's crack it into, is it my AI note taker here? Yes, she is. Beautiful. Fatty. So again, we're going through the second week. Again, I'll share all of the documents, so don't worry about all of this. And essentially what I really want to go from confidence to strategy. So this last week was all about building your confidence and really to turn your insights into actions. So essentially, in order for us to build an effective job hunting strategy for project management roles, confidence was key. Last week, we really went through those activities to showcase how you already have so much project management knowledge without even realizing. So last week was all about reflection, awareness, and belief. This week is all about structure, clarity, and which direction do we take or to. And our mission in Project World Takeover is simple. We grow confidence through community and action. And I feel like last week's actions really basically showcased that, especially through the feedback that I got. The feedback has warmed my heart, like from you guys to really feel like one that really stuck with me was I went from I think I could do this to I know I could do this. That's like such a huge mindset shift. So it's been so amazing to find out and hear more of everything there, to increase your confidence and to see that realization that you've got so much amazing skills. That's big. So I want you to also acknowledge that if you was able to get to that stage, that is big, that is huge, and this is a big milestone, and it will probably change your perspective for the rest of your life. So last week, what we really completed tasks was on why you want to be a project manager or any other project management role, what scares you about job hunting, your transferable skills, and we went into looking into real job adverts and market language. All of these things were actually done on purpose. The biggest finding from week one was actually not knowledge, it was confidence. And actually I think that is a big thing. As on the last work experience call, we was basically talking about business cases, and a lovely lady said that we need 35 million project managers by, I forgot the time scales, I don't know if she's here, she can let us know. We need 30 million project managers. There's so many project management professionals right now that are unemployed. So how comes? The reason is that it's a skills gap, actually. A lot of project management professionals do not realize the skills that they have is already amazing. Or they know it, but they don't know how to actually portray that. By 2035, that's it, Svetlana says. So thank you, Svetlana. So that's actually that's a lot of project management professionals that we need, So that's actually most important. Not growing your knowledge, but actually knowing the value and having the confidence. Many of you actually realize you already have project management skills. You realize that your experience wasn't just written in project management language, essentially. You already also realize that you're way more ready than you thought you are. And you also realize that you're not alone in this journey. And that Project World Takeover and me and the rest of your team is really here to support you in everything that you are going through. And the growth that we actually saw in 1 week was tremendous. It was really tremendous. It was powerful. When you do the task, change happens. So if you're still here not feeling like you know what's happening, like we mentioned earlier, it's basically because you probably just didn't have the time, or you didn't get to doing the tasks, or you couldn't be bothered to do the tasks. And again, the strategy that I'm sharing definitely works, but it works in a way where you actually have to take action. You actually have to have a look. You actually have to reflect. It's an uncomfortable journey. It's an uncomfortable journey because you can't get defensive. It's an uncomfortable journey because, well, you're tired. It's an uncomfortable journey because, well, it's change. Change will always be uncomfortable for us. So one of the questions was actually, oh, I lost you guys. I lost you guys. Did I? Here you go. One of the questions was actually to find out why you wanted a project management role. It was actually really interesting to see a lot of people wanted a project management role because it allows you to create structure and order. It allows you to lead and organize work. It allows you to solve problems. It was also for career growth and financial stability. I love project management, but I will be a liar if I told you I didn't get into it because the paychecks are amazing. And really, it was to find meaningful and fulfilling work as well, and flexibility and long-term freedom. So it was actually really interesting to see those aspects. Then what scared people about job hunting the most? Imposter syndrome, rejection, uncertainty, not feeling ready enough, interviews, not knowing which roles actually to apply for, fear of being overlooked, visa or market concerns, and a lack of confidence as well. So hopefully, even as you're going through these, you recognize that a lot of people has actually mentioned this. So you are not alone. A lot of people feel like this, and that's exactly why this course exists, to replace your fear with strategy. And really everything else, all the negativity, essentially, we really just want to get through that. So I guess based on your own reflections, do you see the similarity of why you also want the project management roles? And do you see that what is scaring a lot of people could actually be a fear that you're also facing right now? Well, hopefully you're realizing that you're not alone. Thank you, Selena. So, biggest yes, yes, yes. We love seeing all the yeses in the chat. Yes, 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 yes. We. So, biggest insights from week one have definitely been that many of you discovered you already have project management skills, I just don't communicate them in a project management language. Someone actually even messaged me. She even said, gee, all these years I thought I had such a big gap, not realizing what I was already doing was so linked to project management. That's the beauty of project management. It is a lot of transferable skills. But that's also another reason why we have a shortage of good project managers, because people just use those transferable skills to get into project management, but they don't elevate their project management knowledge. And that's why a lot of project managers are actually not good quality project managers. Hey, Ria.
Hi, yeah. So basically the same thing, I can like attest to what you just said because I use your prompt, right? And I basically found like a job that I'm gonna apply for. And it was like, you've been doing this all this time. Like all this while you've been doing it because what I've been doing with all my CVs that I've been tailoring, like you said, change like not really change, but tweak your job role. And when I use ChatGPT, it literally said to me, you've been doing it. The role that I'm applying for it even said that I'm overly qualified for that. It's a project coordinator role. It said I'm overly qualified for that role. I was like, oh wow, I'm so shocked that it said that to me.
You didn't realize that, right? You didn't realize that. So that's why we actually did it. I call it like a whole, well, I used to call it brainwashing, but I was like, I need to stop saying that before people feel like this is like a cult. So now this is rewiring your brain session. And even people with 20 years of project management experience don't realize how much experience they already have. So honestly, like I do this exercise, the first step, because I'm like, if we don't do this exercise, I'm constantly gonna have to reassure you and be like, no, you got this. I don't have the time. Go and see it for yourself. And it's shocking. I remember when I did it, I think I even need to do it at this point. I went for like a really senior risk assistant head of risk management. And even when he said, like, listen, you've done so many of these things, I was like, whoa. So it's like a realization, it's a shock. So no,
It's
definitely
more so
worth.
I feel like it's the language on the job ads that really get people because there was one part of the ad that said, what did it say? Something about a skill of how to use EDMS software. But when I typed in what EDMS software is, it's basically like a centralized digital thing that you put like pictures and like you write little descriptions about that particular thing that you've taken a picture of, which I've done before when I used to do like what's it called, property inspections. But a lot of the time, the jargon gets people, it shocks them to believe that they can't do that job, even though they may have already used a particular software from that family, but it's just worded differently.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. That's all it is. And your experience as well. It's not that you don't have the experience. It's just you're not translating it into project management. So the same thing with recruiters, they're not translating it to normal language. So it's like a language barrier from both perspectives, really. Lovely. Hello. Thank you for sharing that. That was really good. Everyone in the chat going, yes, agreed, Ria. All right then. All right. You guys don't put that when I say stuff. Why is no one saying you agree with me? You don't agree with me? Oh, but yeah. Here you are.
Yeah, hi there. Just one sec. Okay, got muted. What I would like to say though about the biggest insight from week one, I would like to mention something. I watched a video yesterday about the biggest ick in CVs, and these are basically recruiters. I believe I've sent it in a PM in TikTok. Just double check your TikTok, right? So they were saying that some of the biggest icks were more than 2 pages, not having personal information there. Like, I mean, by personal information, I mean contacts, right? Don't get me wrong on that one. So phone number, email, right? To not have that, it's a big ick. And also, one of the biggest that I noticed was showing skills that are not related to the job role. Therefore, just make sure that you have skills related to the job role, even if they're soft transferable skills. And based on what Ria said about being overqualified, that's a good thing and a bad thing. Bad thing because you applied for something that might not hire you because you're overqualified. But I see that as a really good point because at the end of the day, it gives you an indication that you have to go elsewhere where you're going to be more valued. Not that you're not going to be valued there, you will be, but they will be downsizing you while going for something that it's along or in line with your skills. Then that's the right place for you. And there's a proverb about a watch, like a really old watch. So the father said to the son, go to this shop, and he was offered really low money. Then he went to another shop and he was offered a bit more. And then he went to another shop, like pawn shop, whatever there. And then he was given the highest price over there. And then the conclusion is like, you have to be at the right place with the right skills in order to be valued properly, right? So thank you for what you're doing, because at the end of the day, like I said in the beginning of that meeting, that what you're giving us is eye-opening, regardless of the tools that we're going to be using, and I believe we're going to benefit from that at the end of the day. So if you're keen to learn, you will learn. You're there to provide. We're literally seeking help, and this is what I've been telling all the time to people around me and people I meet all the time. If you want to get help, you have to look for it, and someone along the way will come up and give you that help. If you don't want to get helped, and if you don't want help, whoever tries to give you help won't be possible. So at the end of the day, yeah, that's this whole journey with the job hunting strategy will be helpful, I believe. And yeah, thank you for taking so long and for listening to me.
Always appreciate your knowledge and everyone else's feedback and thoughts and 2 cents and well, sometimes even $5, really, $100. So yeah, no, 100%. And I think that was the big reason why we did that task, to actually make you realize. And it's actually the same way how a lot of people who are underqualified, they are actually overqualified, like we mentioned. You don't want to go for overqualified roles. Well, partly is they don't want to hire you because they're scared you're going to find something else and you're going to leave. I went for for a role that I was underqualified for because I was getting to this desperate stage in 2024. And the biggest concern was like, but are you going to stay with us? Are you going to leave? I was like, yeah, I'll stay. I was not going to stay, but then I got blessed with this contract here. So essentially, yeah, I ended up going for it. So that's another one that actually realizing all the skills that you have allows you not to go for the overqualified roles, because you're like, oh wow, actually I can do X, Y, and Z. And just based on the few comments as well in the comment section. So essentially, if you are basically shifting from loads of experience, even if it's a different industry, what you really want to focus is how do you portray your value? you want to basically come across as, the way I came across as role mail is, I came from a banking sector and I came into role mail, so that's a complete different industry. But I came across as, it doesn't matter where this girl is, she will be able to go and deliver the governance that's required. She'll be able to do everything that is needed for this role because she has the amazing experience. But that came from me portraying my value in my CV and then portraying my value in the interviews. So if you're not able to pivot into those, you're basically not at the stage yet where you're able to translate your experience in a way that would make the industry feel like, okay, it doesn't matter that they weren't part of this industry, it doesn't matter what gaps they have, they can actually do this, and being a fast learner, they will learn fast in the industry as well. Don't get me wrong, it's always easier because working in banks, it was so much easier for me to know the lingo compared to role mail. But I mean, I've caught up with it. So if you feel like you can't pivot into a different industry or a different role, you're basically not at the stage yet where you're able to showcase to them that they should hire you regardless of your experience, because again, you might have come from a different industry, but I've done everything that you need to do, so it doesn't matter what industry I'm in. So that is the biggest gap that you have, and that's what you need to address. Until you're able to address that, you're going to continue having the same problems again and again. People change careers all the time, people pivot industries all the time. The issue is not changing industries, the issue is that you're not able to show them why they should hire you. So we'll go into this, but yeah, so we'll go a few other questions as well that we'll keep it towards the end then, and we'll go through this. If we got time, we'll go into the questions. But essentially, again, the difference between project coordinator and a project manager is, project manager deals with the day-to-day activities of the delivery of the project. Project coordinator supports essentially the project managers and helps coordinate the project. Project coordinator is an entry-level role, and actually it doesn't require you to know a lot of project management experience. So I highly recommend people starting from entry level, learning how project management works, and then stay 6 months there and then go and, really explore the higher roles. Unless you already have a lot of experience. One thing I will say though, for the people who are overqualified, you are overqualified in experience, but you're not overqualified in knowing what project management is. So I've coached some people that went from a different role outside project management into pure project management roles, really senior, amazing pay. But then a few months after, they would call me panicking, essentially telling me they don't know what to do. They don't understand how plans look like. They don't understand what a great status report looks like. When they ask them for a stakeholder matrix, they don't really know what it is. So if you are transferring into a very senior project management role compared to an entry-level role, you need to take extra time to learn project management in much more deeper knowledge, because as a senior, the reason they're paying you a lot of money is essentially because you're going to be a specialist and no one is there to hold your hand. So if you are going for senior project management positions, you then need to address the gap of your knowledge gap, because you haven't showcased that somewhere else, and see how you have showcased it. But you need to know what's the difference between RAID and RAG status. You need to know how to carry out benefits realization. You need to know what benefits realization means. You need to understand how to do change management. You need to understand so many different things of project management that as an entry level, they did not ask you for those things. So if you are at the start of your career, go for entry level, because you'll actually notice they do not ask for all of those detailed. If you're going for senior positions, that's definitely doable, and we've done it many times through coaching. However, you need to address the gap of not knowing all those aspects of project management. Long story short, because, well, no one is there to hold your hand, and mentally then people start doubting themselves. They feel like project management is not for them. They feel like they can't do the job, but actually you just chucked yourself into the deep end just because you basically really wanted the money and you wanted to go for it, but essentially you didn't do the work of learning how project management works. So that's just a point of consideration, because there's nothing more I love to hear than my clients getting hired. But what I don't want to hear is in 3 months for me to hear how they're struggling and they feel like they cannot carry the workload and they feel like they do not know anything and they feel like they're letting people down. As a coach, that call overpowers any type of happiness that you got hired. So let's be realistic with it too. So originally, and it's not the skills problem. So this is a positioning problem with a lot of us. But good thing is, positioning is something that we can actually fix. So what success will look like this week? By the end of this week, you will have a clearer idea of what level role to target, an understanding of what skills recruiters really want. And you see actually how the discussion that we had kind of even links into this week. So that's why we do the week we on activities, because it links into week 2. So I promise you, I'm not just saying do stuff for the sake of saying it. There's a reason why we're doing it. We're really gonna have a list of common project management keywords as well. Understanding of what skills recruiters really ask for as well. Structured job hunting project in Jira. We'll start on that today. Better way to talk about your experience, and more confidence where you can fit into the market. So this is where your job hunt stops being random and it starts becoming intentional. Because I mean, let's be honest with yourself. Just what's your job hunting strategy right now? Probably sending your CV and hoping for the best. You know, that's not really a job hunting strategy. So one of the activities in there was essentially for you to find 3 roles and provide insights of what you find for the roles. One of the biggest reasons I did that as well, to actually see, are you able to find roles? 2, for you to actually explore those roles, see what skills are needed. 3, to actually see what type of roles people are going for. So the roles people was providing in the progress review was a lot of project manager, digital project manager, product manager, delivery manager, creative project manager. But what's important is that actually a lot of us are applying for senior titles. So a lot of these roles are senior titles, and we are just not there yet. 100% if you do have that transferable experience, and you know, if you come, because I know we do have people on here that have done project management before. So if you come from that experience, definitely. If this is your first time doing project management and you got no clue how project management works, these are too senior for you. So the reason you keep getting rejected is because you're actually putting yourself at jeopardy of applying for roles that you actually don't qualify for. So stop applying for roles you don't qualify for. Why? Because you're going to get rejections left, right, and center. When you're getting those rejections left, right, and center, your confidence goes down, your motivation goes down. Everything just mentally impacts you because there's only so many rejections we can have. And this is come from recruiters as well. A lot of them have actually say, we see so many posts that got rejected for like 500 roles, but he's like, gee, I promise you, majority of people that are applying for these roles do not actually qualify for these roles, or they don't know how to showcase that they qualify for these roles. So you either need to really ensure that your CV qualifies for this level of roles, or don't go for such senior roles because you're not there yet. There's nothing bad with that. I've started from entry level and I made my way up. I believe if anything, it makes your awareness easier and everything that you got going on. But I knew that is the biggest reason why a lot of people are facing rejections, and it happens all the time in coaching, in the community. People are applying for roles they are technically just not qualifying for yet. Or if you're qualifying, you're not able to showcase. Hey, Mary.
Yes, thank you so much. I think so. The PCPM was my question. I just wanted to say thank you. I think the confusion is also coming from the society because originally, so I got a master's degree, international business, but today it doesn't really. I wouldn't say it doesn't really mean anything. I'm just saying while I'm applying for position, I'm more likely to go for a PC than a PM one. And the reason being is the one you just listed, because I'm not qualified yet to be a senior.
Exactly.
It does, like, originally I would apply for a PM one because that's what the job advert is telling me.
And that's what they tell us to do. Yeah. And you don't even know it exists, right? So I'm a senior program PMO. I came out into the industry after my project management master's degree, saying I'm going to be a project manager, because no one tells us of all of these different roles. Even within project management, there's benefits manager, risk management. Yeah. There's so many different roles that they do not tell us about. And actually, I don't know if you guys noticed as well, I talk about project manager in TikTok, because if I kept talking about senior program PMO, you wouldn't understand that that's even project management. So as a society, we definitely need to do a better job at spreading these words. And, you know, that's another big part of Project World Takeover's mission, to make you actually aware that a lot of the roles do not fit you. Who said it earlier as well? Esther even mentioned that she's finding interesting that actually she's more interested in the delivery aspect of it than the planning. So within even project management, we got project planners, right? So for someone who enjoys planning, that would be the most perfect position for them. But because she's not interested in that, then she knows she needs to focus more like project manager and delivery lead roles rather than, let's say, planning and PMO roles, because we are very heavy on plans. So I hate that we don't get guidance of all these amazing roles that they even exist. We keep applying for these roles, getting rejected from these roles, thinking it's us, but actually we're applying for something we don't know. And that's another big part of your job hunting strategy. Are you actually do you just apply for roles because someone told you? Someone joined the community and they just really wanted to be a scrum master. And from what they're describing, I'm like, I don't even think you understand what Scrum Master means, because the things you're saying doesn't make sense. But because it's a buzzword, people are like, I want to be a Scrum Master. So that's huge. But again, like you said, it happens naturally. And I was a victim of this, because I came out like, I want to be a project manager. I want to be a project manager. And then when I realized how big the world is, I was like, whoa, why does no one tell us about this? So no,
Yeah,
thank you.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, thank you. What did Michael say as well? In project management, they value experience over qualifications depending on the industry. So at the start of your career, every single industry will value your experience more. Like even for example, for me now, I'm at the stage where I can go and get more certifications to now and, you know, stand out. Especially as a PMO, one of the things is for me to implement different methodologies. So I need to be aware of different things. So at this stage, it's like it allows us to boost, and I feel like it allows us to be more hireable, is that the word? But it's definitely not needed. It's definitely not needed at all. Okay, so let's go into the next section. So then the common mistakes we actually focus in. So one of the biggest mistakes that I found in general through coaching, and well, through I guess even your feedback reviews, we're aiming for roles too high too soon. This is not to tell you that if you actually got the experience, you do not deserve to go high enough. So do not confuse this. If you know you got the experience, do not confuse this with you're aiming too high too soon. So I'm not talking to you. This is not for you. This is not for you. This is for, let's be realistic, for the people that need it, right? So there are many stepping stones roles such as project administrator, project coordinator, project support officer, junior project manager, associate project manager, PMO analyst, assistant project manager, and even roles that when I actually look for roles sometimes, I basically say match me to roles that do not have the title, but in the job and roles responsibilities, it mentions all the responsibilities. Because especially for entry-level roles in project management, you'll find that a lot of roles actually overlap with the same skills. So do not actually even be fussed about the role. Look at the job spec, and does it expose you to those skills that then you need to go and take to your project management level up. So these roles do not require deep experience. No one will be asking you, have you done plans? Have you done risk management? People will be asking more about your communication, coordination, reporting, admin assistance, you know, stuff like that. They also learn on the job, so it becomes easier to grasp how things work. And even your interview, once you get that one project management job, your next interview is so much easier. Allows you to build confidence as well. As you learn, you build confidence. As you go into the deep end, you're panicking all the time. And it opens you to roles, to project management roles later. You know, I'm getting paid close to 100K now, but I think people are forgetting that this is about to be my 5th year into the industry. You definitely do not need 5 years into the industry to get to that stage, but like do not expect the same journey that I'm at today to have that journey if it's your first step of that journey. You know, like be realistic that there's ways to elevate and grow yourself and get to that stage. I just got there as really fast because, well, I knew what I wanted and I had clarity, and then I created goals and job hunting. So that's actually another thing, especially from your development side, even from coaching perspective. People sometimes just want to get coached on, I just want to land a job, but then people forget that it's bigger than just getting that one job. What is the end dream? What is the end goal that we're going to? How can we help you get there quicker? You know? And that is basically not failure. This is strategy. Successful project management careers are built in stages. It's always easier to familiarize yourself. However, if you are at a stage where you got the knowledge and the experience, definitely go for it. And a lot of the time, you guys are probably even underqualifying yourself and maybe going for these roles when you shouldn't be going. But this is for the other side, as we mentioned. So across a lot of the adverts that you guys analyzed, the same skills kept appearing: planning and organization, communication, stakeholder management, risk and issue tracking, time management, working with teams, process improvement. So I'm sure already of you guys have a lot of these things. Again, of course, majority of the roles were project manager. So stuff like, risk and issue tracking, of course, this is not for entry level. So common tools as well: Jira, Microsoft Project, Asana, Monday.com, Excel, Confluence, Trello. So that basically shows you that these are one of the popular tools to get coached in and learn how it works. And that's the reason why we're doing Jira, because it does come across. Common delivery language as well. So they've included words like delivery, stakeholder engagement, end-to-end projects, governance, risk management, on time and within budget, cross-functional teams. And really, it just shows us how to speak the language that they speak. And remember, essentially, in an interview, especially when they're reviewing your CV, it's basically a checklist. So you need to just learn how to speak the market's language. And this week as well, we are focusing on strategy, not emotion. So last week was all about belief. This week is all about structure. We will now treat your job hunt like a real project. Not I hope I get a job, but I'm managing my job hunting project. This is a goal. And I mean, it links to, I told you, everything is a project. Everything is a project. Everything that we do is a project, your goal. And of course, I mean, what do you feel like your goal is? Your goal is, of course, to land a job. Then you break it into different stages, different milestones, that what's needed and the tasks that you need to do to land that job. And that's why we're basically giving you the steps through the job hunting strategy. Because if you end up breaking those steps into actions that you need to take, you will essentially end up landing your job. And your job hunt is your first project, or your 100th if you already work in project management. We will use Jira because this allows us to see how real projects are managed in the workplace. Again, you saw Jira was one of the most mentioned project management tools for people to have as a requirement. So this also exposes you to learning Jira as we go. We will essentially create the epics such as CV, profile, skills and experience, jobs application, networking, learning tools, confidence and mindset, etc., etc. So by the end of 4 weeks, your Jira will basically be the job hunting strategy that you need to follow. Why are we doing it? It will help you see progress, stay organized, build project management tools and experience, feel like a professional as well, and track your journey, visualize and see how much are you doing this. And by learning this, you're basically learning project management by wanting to be a project manager. So this week, what we're gonna move away from is random applications. A lot of the times, a lot of us apply to the most random jobs, and then again, we get upset when we've constantly facing rejections, but you're just applying to anything and everything. We're going to walk away from fear-based decisions. We're also going to walk away from guessing. And we're going to walk away from working alone. Again, I'll emphasize how crucial working together is important for this, from accountability perspective to sharing your journey to just sharing some tips. And going forward as well, we will move towards strategy, structure, confidence, and consistency. And your role in the community as well. PWTO works because of the community. So you're encouraged to share the progress, ask questions, support each other, learn together, and celebrate wins. We don't celebrate enough. The fact that you're here today with me on a Saturday is a big celebration. You're taking your time out to be here with me. If you've done the actual task as well, that's a big celebration. If you've done the task and your confidence grew and you realize how actually I'm overqualified for a lot of these roles, it's already a thing. If you already realize how actually I got so much of these required skills, that's already a celebration, you know? So let's celebrate, but not just landing a job. Let's celebrate mentality shifts. Let's celebrate even Jira boards. Let's even celebrate just opening a CV because it's a lot. And confidence always grows faster together. So we don't just build project management skills. We also want to build project management identity. The more people know you, the more they are willing to support you and help out. So actually the current role that I have in Royal Mail, actually my colleague, who's actually now my Royal Mail colleague because I got him in there too, but essentially he got offered an interview here, but he already got hired by someone else. But because he already knew my value, because we have, you know, we was basically job hunting together, he recommended me for the role. So that's how I ended up landing the interview at Royal Mail. And to the point where even the recruiter ended up basically saying, like, you know, her CV is impressive, I'll suggest it, but I'm not gonna lie, they picked all the candidates to interview. So I don't think, you know, she's gonna get an interview, but I might as well share because it'll be future roles. They really liked me. So they called me in for an interview a few days after. Essentially, he applied for that role months ago, so I wouldn't even be able to see it. So by having a strong network, especially for a network that is going for similar roles, situations like this can happen. But again, when I asked him why he recommended it, it's because he saw the growth that I put in when we was working together, to, you know, to have this job hunting strategy in place as well. So because he saw the work I put in, that's essentially why he recommended me. So again, you don't think things like that can happen to you? Of course they can. There's roles in different areas. There's roles. So if you know someone lives in Birmingham and someone messages about a role in Birmingham, you can always recommend them. But you're only going to do that if you know they live in Birmingham. You're only going to do that if you know they will be able to deliver this. How would you know that? But only if you work together, only if you supported each other. So it's huge, it's huge, it's huge. So last week we really proved something important, right? You're more capable than you thought. This week we essentially turn belief into structure. This is not about just landing a job in 4 weeks. This is about learning the steps to secure a role in 2026 and beyond. These are the steps that you can take for the rest of your life, but of course you have to amend it, because when I was job hunting in 2021 compared to 2024, very different, what's the name, very different market. So do the tasks, use the tools, stay connected, trust the process, and together we're building clarity, confidence, and careers. And Project World Takeover's mission really is to grow your confidence, build your strategy, and to change lives as well, right? So I wanted to we'll go into some of the testimonials that people shared. And one of your biggest basically activities for this week will be is to actually now do research. What type of role do you qualify for? Again, you can utilize ChatGPT, you can utilize your own knowledge, and you know, so after we've done the whole, let's realize how much project management experience we have. Now you've got a better understanding what type of roles you can go for. Now let's choose what type of roles can we go for. So if you're choosing project coordinator is the role as you go for, you're basically task for the week is to learn how do you translate your experience into that role language, because project coordinator and project manager use 2 different ways. So this will be this week's activity, the main one. So as a recap, we have essentially had a look how you already got a lot of transferable skills. Now we want to see, okay, which role that fits into, and we want to translate your transferable skills into that specific role. The reason we're going to do this is, well, to basically allow you to be realistic as well. Go and do the research with ChatGPT, have a look, what you think. I mean, I don't have a prompt, but maybe I'll create a prompt for you guys and share it with you if that would make it easier. So yeah, so we went from not knowing that we did project management to realizing we did project management, but now, okay, how do we apply it for a specific role in project management? So some of the testimonials as well. Confidence and mindset shift. It's changed how I see myself professionally to moving from I hope I qualify to I know I qualify. This confidence shift alone will affect how people apply, how we interview, how we network, and how we show up in opportunities. So, you know, to me, that's one of the most beautiful things to hear. And really, I like the fact that it linked to two. This is how we show up in opportunities because it's true. If you don't have confidence in yourself, you can forget it. They what made me realize that the way I naturally work fits perfectly within project management. It's confirmed I want fulfillment and enjoyment from my work, not just a good salary. That's another important thing. We don't want to waste time working on activities, on roles that do not allow us to be fulfilled. The task showed me that I already have the skills. It's about learning how to package my experience so the recruiters actually see my value. This course has triggered the change of thought for me. It's changing how I see myself and my future. And you see this right here is more worth than 100K, 200K job. How I see myself and my future, that's honestly unlimited, uncostable. What's the right word? I forgot the word, guys, but hopefully you get what I'm trying to say. Basically, we can't put money to this. What's the word? Help the Lithuanian child out. Does anyone understand what? Well, basically, priceless. Priceless. That's it. That's the word I was looking for. Clarity and strategy is teaching me how to think like a hiring manager and how to apply strategically instead of randomly for roles, wasting time on applications that go nowhere. Invaluable. Oh, I like that. I like that. Before this course, I even knew I wanted something different, but I didn't have the clarity or confidence. Even after day one, things started clicking. If you're willing to put in the work, scoring a role in 2026 will be more feasible. You just need to open to change and redirection from the community. Oh, I like that. Yes, Project World Takeover community. My strategy is the biggest reason I was failing. Differentiation and having support is what makes a difference. And, you know, hopefully this also makes you realize that when you want to take over the world, you can't do that by yourself, or it's going to take you a really long time. Skills realizations, I actually have the skills I needed, just not communicating in project management language. This course helped me see that. You already have project management experience, it just lives under the operational titles. This course showed me how to frame it properly. And it's not all about certifications. If you don't have the right strategy, you'll be in the same place next year. Amen. Amen. Even in a short introduction to Jira was impactful and made project management feel tangible and gave me confidence that I can build these technical skills quickly. Honestly, you'll realize that once you even learn one project management tool, learning everyone else is so easy as well. The AI exercise was eye-opening. It helped me believe in my skills and build my confidence. Learning how to track my job hunt like a project completely changed how I approach it, right? It's just amazing. So hopefully it shows you that all of these activities that we've done, look how powerful it was. If you missed session one, please definitely rewatch it because look at the clarity everyone's getting. Look at the confidence boost. Look at the realization everyone is reaching. And you know, someone as well was saying you don't just get the information, you get community to guide you in your journey. And that's from Project World Takeover. That's probably the most beautiful thing we can hear, you know, because we are all about the community aspect of it. Seems to be really supportive and positive community of people who want to be better themselves. Confidence grows faster together. Oh, I like that. This community made me believe this is possible. Stop it. It's a positive group of people, empathic leads who truly want to help us. You know, and I guess the fact that, you know, we're already talking like this about the community also showcases why we have kept the community aspect such a big aspect of this Project World Takeover. It was always about the community. It was never just a business. And you know, the course really forces you to slow down. That's another thing. And that's another problem that I'm also guilty of. We're ready to just shoot, jump, go take those steps that we need. But you see, when we reflect and we actually work on it rather than just focusing on just sending that CV straight, it basically allows you to really be more productive and more efficient. So definitely this part of this course is definitely to slow you down and to get you reflecting and to really see how you need to take those steps and do it in a way that's feasible. So, you know, we did the whole transferable skills. Now this week, how do we apply it? And then from there, we're going to start really powering it through. Removes mystery around project management, makes the transition feel possible. If someone feels stuck or unsure, the course gives you the structure, the community, and the confidence to actually make change. It's not about just getting a job, it's about building direction that feels right for you. Exactly, exactly, exactly. Beautiful, beautiful. And what I can say as well, as you know, the founder of Project World Takeover, the fact that just from that 1 week session, this is how you guys feel. I mean, that's all I care about, right? I don't care about the courses. I care is how you make him feel. I care about the results they deliver. So it's warmed my heart a lot. And thank you. Thank you for joining us here. So now what I want to do is open Jira. I guess, does anyone have any questions that we went through today? No questions? I mean, hopefully I did such an amazing job that you feel like you just don't have anything to say to me. So again, as a reminder, we want to be running job hunting in Jira. Why? Because afterwards, well, you can basically just open it and just see all the steps that you can take and basically start working on it now. So I'm going to show you a quick overview again how to do it. One of the tasks as well was to basically create a Jira account. So if you haven't created a Jira account, please definitely do it, because from this week session, one of your tasks is also going to start going in there and putting everything that you have learned already. Hey, Yvonne.
Just a quick question though. Apologies for interrupting. I've got some serious calls and I couldn't really pay attention on today's session. Is it going to be recorded?
Always.
Always. Thank you so much, G. I'll have a look after I'm done because I'm still running calls at the moment that are urgent. Yeah, apologies again.
Sorry, big boss.
No. It's family related. It's all good. No.
Sorry, big boss.
No. Yeah. Thank you for that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day. Right, take care. So essentially,
I'm
yeah, God.
G. Sorry. I'm gonna be here. I'm paying attention with one of my ears. Don't worry. It's just saying that I'm a bit distracted. Yeah. Thank you again.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you, man. Thank you. So yeah, don't worry. Every session I will be sharing the recordings. However, definitely make sure to rewatch the recordings, because I don't know if you guys remember, this is only the only time this course is going to be free. So at one point I will be taking the videos down. So you snooze, you lose. So I really wanted us to do our job hunting strategy in Jira. In the last session, we basically went through a quick overview of what Jira is, and essentially it's a project management tool. This is where we manage our projects in it. And the long story short is we basically create these epics. Epics is basically big milestones that you want to achieve in your projects. And then we break it down into stories or subtasks. So again, if you was here last week, you're already aware of the difference, what loss should be. If you wasn't last week, definitely have a quick overview. I mean, there's definitely way more into Jira. Into the tracker, I've attached some links from Jira sessions that I've did with the work experience people. So if you want to find it in more detail, because I find it a little bit difficult as well with this course, that essentially as we're going through it, it's like we're covering project management and then we're covering as well, let's say, like project tool knowledge and stuff, because essentially I just want to be able to show you the strategy. Oh my god, yeah, look how he even spelled it. I want to be able to show you the strategy but not really go into the detail of, let's say, what project management is and all of this. So this course is for you to learn the strategy. If you want to actually see how Fury works and, you know, how all of these things work, that's our work experience group is for. And, you know, in the community, of course, we also go through different project management aspects and coaching. Well, of course, you get everything from the strategy to the project management insights. So I'm very aware that, like, you know, even this few seconds talking of Jira is not enough to introduce you to Jira, but this course is not grow your project management knowledge course and project management tool knowledge course. This is to learn how to do the job hunting strategy. So definitely things like this was one drop of the sea of what Jira can really do. But I've attached those links into the tracker, so from the work experience, so definitely have a look. Beautiful. Okay, so again, so one of the big pillars that we had was confidence, right? To increase your confidence, so this is how you add an epic, then you basically create a child's item. To increase your confidence, and I want you to do this based on your interpretation, do not take it from me. So now create a Jira for this week. One of the pillars was confidence that we went through. What do you feel like we've did to build our confidence? If you've taken notes, of course, just put your notes in there. The reason I told you to basically create the account last week, because if you had it created, well, now you basically would be able to just sit here through the session and just quickly add it into it. Perfect. And yeah. And then regarding the one-to-one coaching, if you are interested in that, just drop me a message. Drop me a message and we'll discuss it. We'll do single sessions, 3 months and 6 months coaching as well. So drop me a message and we'll align. So part of confidence, big thing for us was transferable skills. Transferable skills. And basically what you even want to kind of do is go into this item and you can add notes. What did I say to find out transferable skills? You can say G show to utilize, or you can just say utilize AI to find how much experience I already have. She used the following prompt. Pure. Then another part on the confidence that we basically had was essentially why I want to be PM. You going through that exercise made you realize that actually this is what you really want and this is why I'll be really amazing at it. So again, it was different things. So all of the things that we went through, confidence, what else did we use? Was there anything else that you feel like we've done or any particular task that we had to grow your confidence based on last week? No? No? And again, it depends how you want to break it down. You could break it down into AI, then break that AI story into subtasks and say transferable skills. Or skills. Then the next task can be, we did like a motivation prompt basically. I don't know if you guys remember, but it was our motivation prompt. Utilize the ChatGPT to show how great we was. Yes. So then again, are we going to say utilize ChatGPT or are we going to say transferable skills? Because that's how I broke it down. So again, when you're creating a strategy, do it in a way that you actually realize what is actually happening. You know, like if AI is not talking to you, word it as using ChatGPT to show how great we are. Create the strategy by yourself. I mean, as I need, you can basically delete this column because it's always going to be you reporter as well. So that's the beauty of this. We can basically create how much detail we want in these Jira boards for your projects. So for example, you can also prioritize all of these different things. And for some reason, I don't know why it's not working on my one, but it's been like that for a few weeks now. And you know, you can put it in different statuses. Are you in progress with it? Is this done? have you done this task? Why do we do that? Because, well, guess what? You'll quickly open it visually. And, you know, when it comes to confidence, you've done these two. You know that this is what you can have. You also have, there's a reason for created and updated columns. But again, we're not going to go into why they exist because, again, that's not we'll be here all day. But you can also have due dates. So on due date, you can basically say, by Tuesday, I want to go and find out my transferable skills. Did we choose Scrum? Choose Scrum. Mine wasn't working either, or change the priority. See, I don't know why, but let me tell you how you can basically create your own field. So if you go here, you can't see what you like. You click create, you click what one it is, and you can basically create either a drop down or let's say a label. And with the label, you could basically call it prioritization. I think Jira is just having a hard moment. Prioritization. Then it's going to ask you what options you want, and you could say high, low, medium, etc. And we save this. And we save it. So now it's right at the back. All you basically take is click it. You can create this prioritization, and now you have your own prioritization. So that's the beautiful thing, that you can make this anything and all these drop downs, everything. So if this is like the highest prioritization, you can even actually come in here and filter it by prioritization, and then you click which one. And then you click which one. If you only want to see your high prioritization for this week, you basically click on high, and it shows you this as well. Again, there's different views. So if I prefer to work in list view, there's board view, but because you haven't started a sprint. So essentially, remember, actually we didn't go through it, but if you're in the work experience, we went through the different life cycles. And essentially in Jira, in Agile Scrum, we work in sprints. So what you can basically do is create a sprint, and you call it, I don't know, sprint 1. Maybe you can even call it confidence boost, whatever you want to do. Call it, click the start dates, whatever. And essentially in Agile, we basically only focus on what we work during that sprint. So it allows you to see what you do. You choose the dates you want it to finish. But why? Okay, my backlog must be empty because I marked them. Okay, so it's appeared. It's because they were marked completed. So then what you basically go through your backlog, you can drag what you want to do in this sprint. And this way, this little sprint, you start it, and it basically showcases you what are you working on for that time. You can then go and complete a sprint. You can go and create different sprints. So you can treat each week per sprint. You can treat each, let's say, pillar per sprint as well. And then when you go into your board, you'll see this is still to do. So if you started doing it, you can drag it into progress, then into done. It does basically reflect it in this. So this is how we're going to be doing your project management journey. Another pillar that you want to put, again, put it in pillars that speak to you. Another pillar that you might actually want to say is role clarification. If we can spell. So what steps are we going to take to clarify what role we want to go for? One of the steps is going to be realize your experience. That we basically did with the project management prompt. Then you can say, where does your experience align? Next, you want to translate your experience into not required, but destined, we'll say into destined role. So you see the steps. So one of the big actions for this week is role clarification. What roles are we going for? So the steps that we need to take for is actually realize your experience. Well, we basically did it here in the transferable experience. Then we need to choose where does your experience align. As you do this, you can even go add a comment. I will be going for project coordinator roles. We're going for project coordinator roles. Coordinator roles, or business analyst, or change manager, or XYZ. You know, there's a lot of different roles. So you can link that. You can link that into your experience. So that's how we'll be breaking it basically down. Again, do it in a way that talks to you. Do it in a way that makes sense to you. So does anyone have any questions? What I'll do is I will share a prompt to make it easier for you to align with the role. Align to role and suggestions. Does anyone have any questions? No questions? Beautiful, beautiful. So again, I'll share the session recording. Jira looks like a different language. Don't worry. That's why I'm making you do even this and this for you to realize how simple it is. Once you start partying in Jira, it is not as difficult as it looks. And then your confidence actually starts growing because you feel like, oh, wow, I got Jira, so I can go. Jira is definitely different from Monday.com. Monday.com is more of, well, it doesn't really have the Scrum aspect of it because Jira was actually made for Agile, so it includes the whole Scrum aspect of it. So it's very different. So if you do a tool like Jira, then Confluence, which is basically Wikipedia for project management, and then you do, yeah, Monday.com is more like a CRM. We actually used to do a partnership with Monday.com, but they really heavily support the genocide. And their office is actually on stolen land. So the partnership had to get rid of, and I actually don't use Monday.com now anymore, and I don't recommend it to my clients either because it's more worth than money, right? But yeah, if we learn something like Asana or Trello, Jira, and then Confluence, essentially you get a mix of all these different project management tools. So the more tools, the merrier. I would say go and learn and do these things and as many tools as you can. Organize your day, organize your job board. We already mentioned last week, all the different roles that you're applying for, have all the information there so that you can quickly refer to it when the recruiter calls you and stuff like this. Project management tools are one of the easiest ways for you to actually be a better quality candidate. So essentially, yeah, learn as many project management tools that you can. But that's how I'm encouraging you to use Jira because you'll see how actually just even learning and not being scared of it anymore and understanding it, how useful it is. Exactly. Once you start one and you know how to navigate, you can pick it up. But yeah, all right then, my lovelies. As mentioned, next week will be the guest session. I'll share Nada's profile for you to have a look and prepare any questions that you might have. I'll create a prompt for you to use and open a Jira account as well. And if you haven't filled out the form for Progress 1, we haven't done the tasks, please do so. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day and see you around. Bye. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, guys. Bye.